Estival so that we can get some supplies before the crew gets hungry. So, seek out the Iron and Misery Company component. The Cannoneer points. There, the black rocks on the south side of the island where nothing grows. We'll need labor and supplies to dig it out. This will consume the supplies, but not the crew. Okay, we're gonna have to sail around until the something awaits you thing happens because it was so close to Hideaway that the game won't let us do another event yet. Yes, I know, y'all are getting hungry. Hold up for just a frickin' second. Gathering supplies. I really wish they could just eat one right away, considering they need one. But okay, game. One of the strange catches is gonna have to go. We could go to the Udder Shroom. Oh, this has just been a really weird trip. We finally found Hideaway and got a bunch of things kicked forward. I would like to go up to the Chelenate and Irem. But in the same breath, we're running a bit low on fuel. So if we do that, I'm pretty much committing to the idea that we will have to stop at Con Shadow for fuel. Which I'm not completely against. So I also want to go up to the Undercrow and let him know that we took that letter and give him the reply. Okay. This has been a very weird and meandering trip. Hopefully we have enough fuel to get to Con Shadow. Probably gonna have to go easy on the lamp despite our terror being higher than I'd like. But once we get to Frostfound, we can lower the terror pretty significantly, so... I'm gonna buy fuel until we have 10 barrels, because that's actually all that we can hold for one thing. Now we are going to head to Frostfound and Irem. Retrieve a serpent image. The jungle around you is rich with violently colored fruit, buzzing with insects and unseen life. There's something nestled in the mossy crook of a gray-leafed tree. A wooden serpent lacquered with black, red, and yellow. Its eyes are garnet flakes. Mind if I pick that up? The genial magician asks. Was he with you when you lay down to sleep? A weapon, perhaps. Humans rule the waking world, he tells you, more or less. And the Finger Kings rule most of this place. A long time ago, some rather careless people made these images to imprison Finger Kings. I'm not so careless. I can use it to enact my revenge on the king that took my hand. He is gloating. He actually strokes his mustache with his hook. He retires to his cabin to investigate the serpent image, but emerges a day later disappointed. Different geometries, he explains obscurely. Do you mind if we pop by the Khanate? I can find someone there to help me work this one out. Because we'll get a little bit more at when we stop at Frostfound again, but then we have to make it all the way to Mount Palmerston. To keep the light on, if at all possible, because Terror's not in a dangerous state yet, but it's high enough that we need to not push the crew too much. Going to Frostfound should help that too. Give the sprightly visionary's response. The almost dead man is dismissed from his service. Surely that's good news. Accepted with grace. The almost dead man asks you to describe his commander's response in maddening detail. He only desists when an attempt to return the Kaganian salute results in a spasm of pain. As the incomparable Aurelian offers him some water, you watch his ribs rise and fall like the keys on a pianoforte. When the pain has subsided, the old man's grimace settles into a faraway smile. He still wears the ascot I gave him. Okay, at least we know where Nook is. Deliver a letter of apology to a flinty latitudinarian at Nook. The almost dead man assures you at length that the latitudinarian is not a man to blame the messenger. After a brief consultation with the incomparable Aurelian, the ancient man hands you a sealed letter. I'm told he resides in an etched tooth house in the maw. When I imagine what he could have been. The Tide of Teeth. Your bow light illuminates an uncountable school of eyeless pale fish. A sailor pauses, fascinated by their pearly scales. He watches as the fish form silent ranks, rows upon rows of them, like a shark's jaws closing around you. Yeah, mirrors isn't gonna work. We're gonna try to fight through. 50-50. Lost a crew. Lost a tiny bit of hull. Great. Didn't win the 50-50. Food for the swarm. The hungry school ignores your torpedoes. Explosions blow apart their orderly ranks, but more fish teeth swim to replenish their ranks. Again and again, your submarine is savaged as they throw themselves against your hull, burrowing suicidally into the metal. As you watch, one of the pearly fish bursts through a porthole and buries itself in a sailor's neck. You beat a panicked retreat as the Tide of Teeth loses interest in your submarine, limps away. When you lay out the dead sailor, you can still see the shape of the toothfish wriggling beneath his skin. Okay, we can provide a dry lecture on the social stratification of visage. Obscure pedantry might be just the thing for Rosina. You have the tongue to tell it. Curative tedium. You explain the masks. You establish the etiquette associated with each one. You rely upon the most technical of anthropological vocabulary. You allow yourself some reflections upon theories of esquivalence as they pertain to performative duties in highly dissimulative societies. Rosina's nurse touches your elbow. First sound sleep she's had in weeks, she whispers with a nod to a resting patient. It'll do wonders for her, especially if she can avoid dreaming. Okay, most of these other ones require, like, romantic literature or drowny hymns that we just don't have right now. I don't want to push our terror any higher, so we're not gonna do anything further here right now. I keep wanting to come back to Anth and do more stuff there, but it drives terror up, and every single time we come through here, it's been at the end of a trip where it's like, I really probably shouldn't push the crew any further by turning myself more crystalline. Okay, which ones of you, like, needed strange catches? Because we have a few, and we only need one on hold, so we can buy supplies here too. It's not at the best price, but it's not terrible, so let's get rid of one of these strange catches. Invite her to dine with you. That's a lovely idea. How about a fish dinner? I do have quite particular tastes in fish. I've heard about you. You like to invite your officers to dinner, learn their secrets. Well, you don't need to dig far to find my secret. I wanted to talk to you about it, actually. I've never met my mother. I know my father. I'm a countess on his side, actually. I'd like to find her. She's somewhere out at Z. If only. Really, you'd help me. That's too kind. If you insist, here. So it happens that I made a list earlier tonight. Her mother will be found in one of these places: Wither, the Isle of Cats, Irem, the Chelenate, Con's Shadow, Port Carnelian, or the surface port of Naples. Review this in your journal under learning about Maybe's daughter, so they bothered to separate that one out. Well, good news is we know where all of those are except the surface port, so hopefully not there. Gained a secret. An untidy dinner. Where did it learn to cook? Not in its amber-smeared home tunnels, because it obviously prefers its food raw. Between gulps and flabbers, it attempts to chat. It's hard to decipher its words. Its mouth is full of fish flesh. Its mind is alien, and besides, it's terribly shy. Consequently, the evening is not a great success. But you learn a little of its past. It was abandoned in Port Cecil for rubbery crimes. Crimes whose nature quite slip the surly bonds of language. The principals found it an apt tool. It has been its patron ever since. It begins to say, I used to love, and then suddenly excuses itself. Okay, that freed up a little room in the hold and only used one supply, so gonna just buy a couple crates to make sure we're all right until we get to London. And then the rest of this is gonna be fuel. Now we need to go to Avid Horizon, the Chapel of Lights, Codex, Wither, Vanderblight, and then down to London. Your sigil-ridden navigator races toward the chapel. This is the place. Hark, the bell. You give chase. Within, the air is heavy and hushed. You enter to see your navigator shaking a smiling priest by the collar. It led me here. Tell me what it means. Look at it. Look at it. The priest disentangles himself as politely as possible. I'm sure we can find a path to put you on, my friend. He examines the sigil with a professional air of a collector, but we will need your help in return. Our stores are running low. If we cannot feed our congregation, our mission must end. Can you provide? The fresher the better. Your navigator has nothing. He pleads with you for help. Well, one, we need the one life specimen we do have, and we don't have two. 2 crew. That we would still have over half. We would have 4 out of 7. So we'd be okay, but that is the lowest number we can work with before we start taking a speed penalty, so... Oh me, oh my. The priest slips his arm around your shoulders. For you, a lesser payment, he whispers. Post no guards on your ship tonight. Ask no questions. And in the morning, perhaps you'd like to join us for breakfast. A red and white smile. The chapel's congregation are soft-footed. No one on board hears them come or go. In the morning, a crewman's bed is empty. You divert your crew's concerns. Later, you take part in a late, warm, red breakfast in the church's crypt. When you emerge with the smiling priest, your navigator hurries forwards from a pew. The sigil. What does it mean? Who carved it on me? What did I do to deserve it? The smiling priest raises a hand. You are on a journey, my friend. Take one step at a time. I've seen your sigil before, carved in the ice at Frostbound. Go there, and you will answer your first question. That will lead you to the next. The navigator's thanks are muted. He plods back to your ship. Before you leave, the smiling priest gives you a wink. Oh, I guess it said requires 2 crew because we're not going to let you accidentally doom yourself, because if you have 0 crew, it's a game over condition. So we only lost 1, not 2. So there's that. We're gonna wait till he turns around, because we're invulnerable while we're docked. Leave. I think the chance of this goes up the more places you search. I don't know why anyone would come here, but she does. Something about questions. The daughter shivers. You know, she asks people about love all the time and writes down the answers in her nasty little book. Love. The daughter's mouth twists. Nothing. I have been asking questions for 3 hours, and every time I ask a question, they reply with a question, and I think I might... Well, I might, but I didn't. I just picked their pockets. I think that's entirely reasonable under the circumstances, don't you? Here's your share. Let's go and look somewhere else. Oh, we have muter salt. That worked out really well. Okay. Glad we did that first, before I forget. A cure for amnescence. I have an idea, but I'm going to need flesh from the chillier kingdoms, solace fruit from the melting isles where the mangrove college lies, and yes, more muter salt. I regret that it's not cheap. Grim resolution. She returns from her workroom, eyes downcast. No, I still feel that creeping fire. But there is another possibility. A species there is that understands fire better than any. There's an account in the journals of M. Demew of a devil rite used for the extinction of flames. The substance called zoop. It can be eaten, by the unwary at least, but it can be turned to other purposes too. Okay, we're going to have to figure out where to get that. Yeah, we'd need a secret for it. That's fine. 2 muter salt. Zoop. And 7 drowning pearls. Okay, I'm glad I kept the one we have. Okay, I'm not going to bother picking up the muter salt right now. We know where to get that. And it's possible that we'll find some. But it's just I have no idea where to go for Zoop, and getting that many drowning pearls is going to be a process. So until we have those sorted, I feel like there's not a whole lot of point in taking up a bunch of hold space carrying around Muter Salt. So we'll keep working on it. We're trying. All right, you want Salt's attention. I want to say that was the one we could actually get right now. Just need a Z story and a secret. Go. Your words sink into the silence like stones into quicksand. The initiate listens, eyes closed, committing every detail to memory. Leave now. If you see where I write your story, it's the worst kind of luck. Yep. Okay. Bread and Salt. The Carnelian exile invites you to her cabin for dinner. We need to discuss a certain direction, she informs you. A brisk dinner. I am persona non grata in Port Carnelian, the exile remarks. I was too close to the new sequence and the machine. I have repented of that now, but I'll never go home. She leans closer. Salt's song, she whispers. I hear it on the wind, the way east, the horizon's road. Will you go east, my captain? Will you take me with you? Okay, our options are, the Z is wide, but I'll always return home. East, the horizon where the god Salt watches. Far and chilly. London is your home. I think we've pretty thoroughly disproven that. I mean, yeah, we returned to London, but we've gone a lot of places. The Z is my only home. You are a Z captain. The old black ocean under the world. It's 500 ports. You'll live and die here. I cannot rest until I've crossed the last horizon. You are hungry for more. Yeah, that. The exile smiles. Destiny is destiny, she says softly. You are the captain I would choose to follow across the Z. If the time comes for you to claim your burning name, speak with me again. I cannot enter the name's prison. Not anymore. She taps her glasses. But perhaps you can. We gained a mirrors. Okay. Speak to the exile about the name's prison. How will you breach it? When will you find it? Behind her glasses, you sense somehow that she has closed her eyes. You must have mastered the map, she says softly. Entered the house of every power. And you'll need to bring a burning truth to match the burning name. So Searing Enigma, and I suspect, I don't know, but I suspect that what she means by the first part is that we need to have gone off the map in all four directions, which I have yet to show you guys. East is easy. You can go off the map east at any point. North isn't too bad. You just have to find your way up through the ice flows. South, I think you have to go past the Dawn Machine. West, I'm not certain where the gap is to go west. Which, you know, is kind of weird considering that's the side London's on. You'd think it'd be the one I'd know, but... So that's going to go on the back burner for a while, but... Hey, if we happen to be going kind of nuts anyway, maybe we go off the map. It's a tricky thing to do and a tricky thing to recover from successfully. It's risky. But we might. Okay, so you were trying to figure out how to get Zoop and some other stuff too. The more drowning pearls. Those are the things holding that up right now. You're just waiting until we have extra supplies to dine with you again. I can't for the life of me remember what we were supposed to be doing for you, so I'm hoping we'll just blunder into it. You're waiting until we have a bigger ship. What are we doing? You need to go to the Khanate. We could invite him to dinner again, though, but maybe when we have more supplies we'll do that. But the Khanate is where he needs to go. You need to go probably back to Estival, because we just did not have the supplies the last time we were there, and I'm sorry, it was just a bit of a tricky situation. And he needs to go to Frostfound. You need to go to a bunch of different ports. We haven't even managed to have dinner with you yet. You need more coffee. And you need to do something at the Chalcinate that we haven't been able to figure out. What about you? Strange catch. Okay. We're out of them. We had an extra at one point, but we had to dump it overboard because cargo space. We'll find another one eventually. Okay, let's try to get this live specimen back to London before the crew starts freaking out about it so that we can actually make another one of the things that we need to make. I think we have 7 secrets exactly. Okay. Okay.